Alright, real talk. You could be the smartest guy in the room. You could have the best ideas, the best intentions, the best heart, but if you open your mouth and make any of these 7 mistakes, none of that matters. Because here's what nobody tells you: people don't just hear your words. They feel your energy, and your words carry a signal that either says, "I trust myself," or one that quietly whispers, "Please accept me." And most guys don't even know they're sending the wrong signal. I'm not here to give you a lecture. I'm here to show you what's actually happening when you speak, what the other person is picking up from you without even consciously trying, and how you fix it not by becoming someone else, but by finally becoming more you. Because confidence isn't about being loud. It's about being clear, and clarity starts with how you speak. So let's get into it. Number 1, you over-explain everything. You ever catch yourself in the middle of a sentence thinking, wait, do they get what I mean? Let me add more. Let me clarify. Let me explain the explanation. Bro, stop. Here's what over-explaining actually communicates to the other person. It says, I don't trust that you understood me. Or worse, I don't trust myself. When you feel the need to justify every word you say, you're not being thorough, you're being anxious, and people feel that. Think about the most confident guy you know. Does he ramble when he says something, or does he say it, let it land, and move on? He says it once. Clean, clear, done. Here's a real example. Imagine you told your friend you couldn't make it to his event. Insecure version: hey man, I'm so sorry, I can't come. I know it's important, it's just that my schedule has been crazy lately, and I had this thing come up, and I really wanted to be there, and I feel bad, and stop. Just say, hey, I can't make it tonight. Let's catch up soon. That's it. Same information, zero desperation. The fix: say your point once, then breathe, let the silence hold it. If they didn't understand, they'll ask. Trust that. Number 2, you uptalk turning statements into questions. This one is sneaky because most guys don't even hear themselves doing it. Uptalk is when your voice goes up at the end of a sentence, like you're asking a question, even when you're not. I think the plan could work, like it might be a good idea. I don't know, maybe. Every rising inflection at the end of a statement sends a subconscious message. I'm not sure about this. Please confirm it's okay. You're asking for permission to have your own opinion, and that's not a great look. Here's the human truth of it. We've all been in environment school, strict households, workplaces where ideas got dismissed. So we learn to soften what we say so it doesn't feel like a challenge. It becomes a habit. It becomes automatic. But in the real world, in conversations with women, in job interviews, in leadership uptalk, makes you sound like you're waiting to be approved. The fix: record yourself talking for 30 seconds and play it back. Seriously, just 30 seconds. You'll hear it immediately. Then practice ending your statements with a slight downward tone. Not aggressive, just grounded, like you mean what you said. Number 3, you apologize for existing. Now, I'm not telling you to stop being polite. Being respectful is a strength. But there's a difference between respect and apologizing for simply taking up space. Sorry, can I ask something? Sorry, this might be a dumb question, but sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I just wanted to. Bro, what are you apologizing for? You haven't done anything wrong. You're just speaking. Here's where this comes from. A lot of guys, especially the ones who grew up being told they were too much, or who've been socially rejected before, develop a habit of pre-apologizing. It's like a shield. If I already say sorry, you can't make me feel bad. But the problem is, it signals that your default setting is guilt, and that's not attractive. It's not respected. And over time, it trains the people around you to see you as someone who doesn't fully believe they have the right to speak. The fix: catch the word sorry before it comes out and ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong? If yes, apologize genuinely. If no, replace sorry with nothing. Just say the thing. Can I ask something? Quick question. I wanted to share something. You don't need a pre-apology to earn your place in the conversation. Number 4, you fill silence with filler words. So basically, you know what I mean, I guess these are verbal security blankets. When there's a pause and our brain hasn't caught up yet, we fill the silence with noise so it doesn't feel empty. The problem? Those filler words don't just sound weak, they make the people around you mentally tune out. Your actual message gets buried under the noise. And here's the real kicker: silence isn't awkward. It only feels that way when you're insecure about what comes next. Confident people pause. They think, then they speak. That pause between a thought and the words, that's not weakness, that's control. Think about any great speaker you've watched. A mentor, a leader, a guy in an interview who just seemed calm and sharp. They pause, they breathe, they don't rush to fill every second with sound. The fix: replace filler words with silence. Literally practice talking and just stopping when you don't have the next word ready. It will feel weird at first, but to the person listening, it sounds powerful. A man who pauses before he speaks is a man who thinks before he acts. That's rare. That's respected. Number 5, you constantly seek validation after you speak. That makes sense, right? You know what I mean? Does that sound okay? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Every time you tag one of these onto the end of your sentence, you're looking for someone to co-sign your reality. You're not sure you said the right thing, so you open a little door at the end and say, please tell me I'm okay. And listen, I get it. We all want to be understood. But there's a huge difference between checking if someone comprehends what you said versus checking if they approve of you for saying it. One is communication, the other is insecurity wearing the mask of conversation. Here's the human truth. If someone disagrees with your idea, let them. If someone doesn't respond the way you hoped, that's okay. The goal of speaking isn't to guarantee approval. It's to share your perspective honestly. And honestly, the guy who says something and stands by it, even if others push back, is way more respected than the guy who trails every sentence with, "You know what I mean?" The fix: end your sentences, full stop, let people respond on their own terms. You don't need to fish for their reaction. If they have questions, they'll ask. If they disagree, you can engage then. But don't hand them the scissors before you've even finished building. Number 6, you shrink your voice when it matters most. Picture this. You're in a room. Someone asks a question. You actually know the answer, but you quietly mumble it, looking down, barely audible, and 3 seconds later someone else says the exact same thing at a normal volume and gets all the credit. Yeah, that's the shrinking voice problem. And it doesn't just happen in rooms. It happens one-on-one. It happens on dates. It happens when you're meeting someone new and your voice gets quiet, your eye contact drops, and suddenly you're somehow physically smaller than you were 30 seconds ago. Here's the thing. The content of what you say is only part of the message. Your volume, your pace, your presence, that's the rest. And when your voice shrinks, the subconscious message to the other person is, even I don't think what I'm saying is worth hearing, and they believe you. This one often runs deep. Some guys grew up in environments where being loud meant being in trouble. Quiet was safe. But that muscle, the one that lets you take up acoustic space with confidence, can be rebuilt. The fix: practice speaking at 20% louder than feels comfortable to you, just in conversation, not shouting. You'll feel like you're being too loud. You're probably not. Most guys who speak quietly don't realize that the volume that feels normal to them reads as low energy to the people around them. Speak like your words are worth hearing, because they are. Number 7, you talk fast when you're nervous. And this is the one most guys completely miss, is the most telling of them all. Speed. When we're anxious, we rush. We talk fast because some part of us thinks if we just get through it quickly, we can minimize how much we're exposed, get it out before anyone can reject it. But speed doesn't protect you. It broadcasts your anxiety louder than anything else. Think about the last time someone really commanded a room. A professor, a speaker, a guy who just walked into a conversation and shifted its energy. Did they talk fast? No. They were deliberate. Every word had weight because there was space around it. Talking fast also makes you harder to understand, which forces the listener to work, and people don't like working to understand someone they just met. They disengage, and you've now lost them, not because of what you said, but how quickly you said it. Here's a moment a lot of us can relate to. First date, or that first conversation with someone you really want to impress. Heart's going. You want to be funny, interesting, smart, and you just start word vomiting everything because the silence feels dangerous. But bro, the silence was never the problem. The speed was. And the person on the other side can feel the panic behind the pace. The fix: take the breath before you speak. Not a dramatic pause, just one natural breath. Then talk at 70% of the speed you feel like talking. It feels too slow. It sounds confident. Two very different things. Here's the bigger picture, and this is what I want you to take with you. All 7 of these mistakes share one root cause. They're all responses to fear. Fear of being judged, fear of taking up too much space, fear of silence, fear of rejection, and none of that fear is your fault. It came from somewhere. A classroom where you got laughed at, a relationship where you were shut down, a home where your voice didn't matter, but you're not that version of yourself anymore. And every single one of these habits is learnable, changeable, and fixable. Not by pretending to be someone else, but by slowly unlearning the patterns that were never really yours to begin with. The moral is this: how you speak is how you see yourself. And when you start treating your words like they matter, the world starts treating them that way too. You don't need to be loud to be heard. You need to be honest. You need to be grounded. And you need to trust that who you are without the apologies, without the over-explaining, without the rush is already enough. Confidence isn't something you add on top. It's something you uncover when you stop hiding. If any of these hit close to home, drop a comment below. Tell me which one you struggle with most, because I guarantee you're not alone, and the fact that you're here, paying attention, trying to grow that already puts you ahead of most guys. And if you want to take this further, the next video breaks down exactly how to carry yourself in conversation so that she feels your presence before you even say a word. Trust me, you're going to want to watch that one. See you there.